I know what you're thinking. There's no way somebody that looks like they haven't shaved in a week could possibly have had a really long-winded, nonsensical, circular, and sometimes offensive rant about the state of AAA gaming and using Bethesda Starfield as an example. Truly, that's impossible. Joke's on you, I haven't shaved in 2 weeks. Listen, I get the art of bidding it, right? But bidding it. But you know, I only have so much sympathy for it, because the reality is that if the default mindset that everyone adopts is that it has to be a race to the bottom, like there's no other way. It's just the way that it all works. There's just no room for anyone to fucking do, you know, something that's not just the same as everyone else and make this like homogenous fucking blob, you know, and to push out all these widgets and then look, the people are buying the widgets, so clearly it must mean. In the video game world, you know, I don't think that's the case at all. I think that video games at the AAA level they're crafting their own demise, right? They're kind of like they're in like a self-fulfilling prophecy situation where they're like, man, the people just won't buy it if we don't jump the fucking shark every time we put out another third-person action-adventure RPG open-world game. You know, it has to be... The world has to be fucking true-to-life Earth scale, and every detail has to be fucking touched by human hands, and it has to be a 700-hour-long game, and it has to have every mechanic known to man. It's gotta have crafting, it's gotta have cooking, it's gotta have base building, it's gotta have fucking vehicle construction, it's gotta have fucking anatomically correct sexual encounters, it's gotta have a, like, the list just keeps going on, and like, and then the reality is then you sit back and then all of a sudden, like, Vampire Survivors will come out for 99 fucking cents and just sell like fucking 30 million units. Like, you know, people just want good fucking video games. That's what people want. People don't really want, I mean, there's a handful of people who I'm convinced are literally, they have to have Stockholm Syndrome. Have to be. Will, like, look at Starfield and honestly think to themselves that game holds up to, like, literally fucking anything. It doesn't. It's empty. It's vacuous. Everything is pointless. There are no decisions to be made. It's a straight fucking run, and even when it's a straight run, even when they take all of the branching tree shit out of the game, and the writing is still ass, the characters look like shit, they sound like shit, they have the worst voice direction in the world, they have incredible voice talent, and they somehow manage to make them sound fucking terrible. No story, no real fucking side quest worth fucking doing, maybe like one. Even then, it only seems good because the rest of the game is so fucking bad. But that's like the homogenous shit. AAA. That's Todd Howard, 16 times the detail. Right? You should see what we did with our lighting system. It's incredible. We pulled in every fucking developer under the Bethesda family tree to put them on this bitch. Every one of them. So it has to be fucking good, right? No, it's bad. Objectively fucking bad. There is no room outside of shipbuilding at best to give them any leeway. The UI is fucking atrocious. It got fixed by modders in the first fucking 2 weeks. The fucking character AI is friggin' horrible. Everyone's as dumb as a fucking post. There's not a single thing you can talk about, or one aspect of that game you can talk about other than shipbuilding in a positive light. Nothing. The closest thing that you can get to people enjoying that game are people who are Bethesda enjoyers, in the truest sense of the word, where it is a comfort food or a vibe for them. Not even in the sense that Bethesda created the vibe intentionally. It's the cookie cutter, modular shit that looks and plays like it's 15 years out of place. But because people like Ko and others have played them before with Bethesda and they have fond memories of, and like it's there are direct analogs for fucking everything in these games, whether it's Fallout or Elder Scrolls in Starfield. Direct fucking analogs, right? The combat is nearly identical to Fallout without VATS. There's the space magic instead of dragon shouts. You're absorbing alien tech instead of dragon souls. The whole world is just, it's built for you. You don't exist in the world is built for you, to the point where every fucking character asks you, what do you think? What is it that we should do? Tell us, Ja Rule! What should we do?
Where is Ja?
And you're sitting in front of like a xenobiologist with 50 years of experience, and we're some bum that got pulled out of a fucking mining operation. And they're asking us questions about their field of specialty, because the game, it doesn't, the world wouldn't exist without the main character that you're playing. It would, like, everything would fucking implode on itself. And that's like the worst kind of RPG design that could happen. And even something that Bethesda hasn't necessarily done to that degree in the past. Every decision is railroaded. There is no branching paths really to speak of whatsoever. Which begs the question, is it even an RPG? Like, is Starfield an RPG? The points in which you get to choose what you're really doing are basically at the very fucking end of the game, where you, and I don't want to say spoilers, but where there's 3 choices. They all end, none of them fucking matter, even a little bit, not even like to the, like we're talking worse than original Mass Effect 3 ending, like doesn't matter. But like you get one, there's like one mission structure that actually has some semblance of choice, and it's like the most minor fucking difference. It's terrible. So can you enjoy terrible? Fucking of course you can. There are loads of games that are just dog water that people love and play and enjoy. Bethesda hurt you? Listen. Bethesda's insulting everyone at this point. Bethesda, their entire fucking goddamn shtick is that they have been on an island, or were on an island by themselves for fucking ages. Making games that really nobody else would even be able to attempt to try and walk towards, to try and make or emulate in any way, shape, or form. Literally, by themselves. Huge success. Then they went out with fucking Skyrim and walked away from shit. But look at the fucking timeline. You go from Morrowind, which is one of the most heralded, not just for the fact that people bought it, but one of the greatest RPGs of all time, to Oblivion, which was like, okay, we're getting a little thinner around here, but you know what? 50 seconds of Patrick Stewart was pretty neato. We'll ignore all the level scaling and all the other broken bullshit and the green beards and the fucking whatever the fuck. But the story is actually still pretty okay, Hero of Kvatch. Then we got to Skyrim, and they knocked that bitch down another peg further. But they got all the environmental shit bang on, which is exactly, the environmental artists carry the fuck out of that team like crazy. Holy shit, every fucking time. But the story got thinner. The characters got thinner. Name me somebody in Skyrim other than, like, the main dragon, maybe, and Jarl Balin. And maybe Lydia, I guess. But they're all for memes. You remember Jarl Balin because he's Jarl Balin. You remember Lydia because she's sworn to carry your burdens. And you might remember Parthenax because it's a kind of a cool name and he's a goddamn dragon. But otherwise you remember shit all. Like, you people probably remember, like, 2 characters from fucking Oblivion. Like, there's, like, just absolutely nothing. Then we go from Skyrim to Fallout 4. And oh my god. Fuck. We all know how shit Fallout 4 was. Not even people that like Fallout 4. There was even less choices, less branching paths, less fucking memorable characters. The worst inventory system to have ever been created known to fucking man. Graphics that went absolutely nowhere from the previous. Then, as I mentioned, that was the canary in the coal mine. What did we get after Fallout 4, ladies and gentlemen? Who remembers the Bethesda timeline? One of the most heralded fucking companies of all time in which people have infinite fucking patience for Todd Howard's bomber jacket. What came after Fallout 4? That's right. Fallout 76, baby.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River.
The worst AAA launch in the history of games, period. Full stop. You might point at Cyberpunk? Nah. Bethesda been around a lot longer with a lot bigger fucking company, a lot more money behind it, a lot more experience, same intellectual property, same everything. Todd Howard came out, said they had every single studio working on Fallout 76 in succession. They came out and every part of Fallout 76, dog water, objective, bullshit, horrible fucking video game. And the launch was horrible. They doxed their own fucking people buying their games. The whole thing was a farce. Not even the collector's edition shit went right. Literally the worst AAA release of all fucking time. And then they go away, and they're like, oh, no, we, fuck. And then you know what happened after that? You know what happened after that? Their shit was so down bad, Microsoft sat back and said, you know what? This might not be a bad time to approach them to see if they want to buy or get bought out. Because really, they're making it difficult on themselves. And so you know what? They threw that out there. And then Todd Howard and the team were like, shit, we gotta maybe come up with a reason for them to buy our shit up. Cause yeah, they're right. We're kind of fucked right now. I don't know if you saw Fallout 76, but it's actually the worst AAA game ever fucking released. We should probably think about this buyout. But in order to do that, we need to make sure that we're worth more, because right now, we're not worth shit. We just put out 2 of the fucking biggest stinkers in our entire catalog. We're not worth the same amount of money we used to be. Let's figure this the fuck out. We can't just keep selling Skyrim ad nauseum on every different fucking platform, including the smart toaster. We gotta come up with some different shit now. What do we got? Don't worry, I'll pull the bomber jacket out of the closet. I got this, guys. Let's go. Todd Howard. Woo! Get up on stage. What does he do? Todd Howard. Well, shit, guys. 16 times the detail. Sometimes it just doesn't work. I know I said that before. Callback joke. Got it? Now you like me again. Here's Fallout fucking bullshit. And by that I mean in space. What's it called? Starfield. First brand new IP in 20 plus fucking years. We haven't done that shit. We've been going back to the well so many times you forgot we even had the ability to make a new fucking IP. Well, boy, I tell you, you're gonna be able to do all sorts of crazy shit in here. You saw No Man's Sky? Oh, those 12 people that sat in a flooded basement in jolly old fucking England? Fuck them. They don't know what they're talking about. Let me go on Lex Friedman's podcast and sit down and fucking, without mentioning their fucking name and Sean, let me make fun of their procedural generation that even the fucking crazy mad lads over in Star Citizen were like, Jesus Christ, this is actually really impressive and it took us forever and a lot more money and people to fucking top it. Jesus, this is fucking incredible. Meanwhile, Todd Howard's like, oh, it ain't that fucking impressive we got some systems, we have bespoke shit, we got, some hand-touched elements and other things. As it turns out, that just resulted in like 3 different fucking bases that you saw, the exact same items, the exact same people, the exact same fucking locations for all the chests, all the same shit. Even some of them were part of the fucking quest lines that you did, the same fucking buildings that were like in the Radiant quest. Shit's fucking dog water. You sit down, you land your fucking ship, it looks like 50 Shades of Arizona and the Canadian Shield. There's no fucking like alien flora or fauna to speak of that's even worth fucking talking about, and most places look just like my cratered fucking asshole after a night at Taco Bell. Nothing Nothing to see. 5-minute walks to anything. And I say walks because it is walking, because there's no vehicles to go anywhere. Because if there was a vehicle, you'd hit the invisible wall quickly, because it's not actually full procedural generation like it used to be back in fucking 1997 when they had their old games like Daggerfall. It's partial procedural generation, in which you land and it generates a 45-minute fucking circle around your ship that you only ever fucking see when you take off and land, in between 710 fucking cutscenes, if I might add. And so what did we get? Dog shit. And you're gonna sit here and pretend. We're gonna sit here and pretend like that game is good and okay and Bethesda's fine. Well, they got up on stage and he gave us the Starfield fucking shtick, but not only that, he gave us one more. Well, you know what he did? Elder Scrolls 6, baby. It's the fucking secret sauce. It's the card that saves Todd Howard ass every fucking time. Can we talk about Elder Scrolls? Nah, we gotta save it for when we're really bad. It's like the goddamn bat signal. Every time Gotham needs the fucking hands of Elder Scrolls, they just throw that fucking Elder Scrolls 6 work in progress, working title fucking logo up in the sky, and every fucking Bethesda neckbeard enjoyer starts silently jerking off into their Lydia body pillow for the 50th fucking time. And so he did that on stage alongside Starfield, for which we got like a fucking meme intro, and he said, "All right, Microsoft, now I'm ready for you to buy me." And then they did. And after they did, you know what happened after that? By golly God, Microsoft sat down and said, "Wait a minute, you want to release this game right now? It's running and looks like shit. Did you see the trailer reaction? People can see right through this. We can't have this happen again. Did you see Halo Infinite? Jesus Christ, we got a whole other fucking situation over here with 343. You guys are Bethesda, you're supposed to have this shit down. You've been making the same game for fucking as long as half of our player fucking console purchase base has been on the planet. It's been 25 years. Get it together." And so they went away for another year. Can you imagine what Starfield would have looked like if it came out a year earlier? Holy shit. Thank God Microsoft told Todd to get back into the fucking bat cave and figure it the fuck out again, because Jesus, it would have been fucking terrible. Because it's terrible now. On YouTube right now. Every person, every Bethesda enjoyer that is an actual, sane human being that has played pretty much everything from either Morrowind or even before Daggerfall up through hundreds, thousands of hours playing Starfield, half of them fucking quit 20 hours into the game because it's dog shit! And then not only that, but they felt compelled, people with 3 subscribers, 4 fucking subscribers on YouTube, to do hour-and-a-half long retrospective / breakdown of why Starfield is the way it is and why it's concerning for the future of Bethesda as a company. And they have no other impetus than they're sitting there going, what the fuck is going on? How you've been out in front for so long. Why aren't you taking advantage of it? Why are you still in the confines of the Creation Engine 2, which is really just the fucking Gamebryo engine? But that's beside the point. You could have literally, have you looked at, how did you sit down at Bethesda and looked at a game in which, oh my God, fucking 50% of the time minimum, you are talking to characters face to face? And how did you look at your game where they stare through your fucking soul, if you still have one after playing Starfield for the first fucking 30 hours, and fucking vapidly just say the most brain-dead, terrible dialogue delivered in what sounds to be like somebody was holding a gun to somebody's head and said, "Please deliver this in the driest way fucking possible"? How do they look at that? And look at literally any RPG that has released in the last 13 years and go, "Yep, that's the one," and sent that out. How? It's not even it's a new IP, but it's not. It's literally everything is just an analog from other Bethesda games. It's in my review that's forthcoming that Mark's working on, which isn't as spicy as this one because it's just a standard review, no spoilers. But in that shit, like I say, it's the most Bethesda-ass Bethesda game ever fucking made, and there's truth in that. There has never been a more Bethesda fucking game, and I mean that in the best and worst fucking terms. It's mediocre in the most bitter definition. And anyone, I don't care how subjective it is, from an objective opinion, in the tier list of games available in the RPG genre, literally bottom in the AAA segment. Bottom. And even if you extended that down and out, it's worse than their previous games. It's worse than their fucking peers at the B tier level. It's terrible. There are people that have taken their games and made mods in their free time that are better as video games than their own video games. Fuck. Why are people pretending that Starfield is good? Enjoy it if you want, sure. I enjoyed building ships, but don't pretend it's good. Don't pretend it's that Bethesda's okay. They're not. We should be, if you actually fucking care about the games that you played growing up from Bethesda, and especially Elder Scrolls, and you see Starfield, and you go, yeah, you know what? Fuck me, Starfield, that's making Elder Scrolls 6. I'm excited now. Shit, imagine what they got cooking in AES 6. You are delusional. You are lost in the sauce. Todd Howard's got you fucking pretzeled up, wrapped up, and tucked in the fucking front breast pocket of that damn fucking bomber jacket that he pulls out with his 46 fucking hipster-ass wrist bracelet bullshit. Welcome to the fucking shout out to the chess club. Look who's talking now. Anyway, have some standards is what I'm saying. Because if you don't, the AAA whole thing, which is how this whole discussion started, by the way, was the idea that like AAA is just, you know, there's pressure to just make bigger and more homogenous because you can't take risks. Fuck all that shit. Fuck that shit. Baldur's Gate 3 says suck on my perfectly fucking enormous fucking semi-demon god sexy bitch dick. Clearly, it's not just about that shit. They choose it to be. They choose it to be. Full stop. And look at what they're putting out. It's shit. And they're going to, at some point, sell less and less of it. Call of Duty ain't selling the way it used to sell. Halo Infinite's fucking dead. From 250,000 concurrent on Steam. People were ready for that game. People were like, man, nobody wants an arena shooter anymore. 250,000. Now you got like 3K. Cause you fucking dropped the ball with Greg. The brute. You fucked it. It's not about all this extra, it's poor management. The vast majority of the time. It's incompetent fucking management. People that have no right to be in the position that they're in. Overselling, underperforming, every fucking time. Every fucking time. Like, when you had developers coming out talking about BG3, like, oh, I hope people don't get their expectations up. Like, does anyone look at No Man's Sky after their release and everything they've done and continue to do to this point, and developers go, Shit, I guess we're lucky that nobody tries to hold us to this fucking standard. We release a broken-ass fucking game at launch and then it just dies in the fucking water. Or they can do what fucking Hello Games and Sean and the team did and literally go fucking, like, radio silent, go and do nothing but bust your ass work, come back, and continue to produce free content, including massive VR updates, ports to Switch, etc., etc. Just keep fucking building this bitch up for $0 and 0 cents. But listen, it's just not possible. We need to have homogenous shit at scale. Can't be done any other way. Just unsustainable. Just completely unsustainable. And it's unsustainable from the sense that it means that somebody like Bobby fucking Micro Dick Kotick can't just go around buying up fucking studios forever and ever and ever without the financial backing of some sort of like dead horse whipped intellectual property that's ground into a fucking shrimp paste. That's the only reason. That's it. It ain't for no. It's to get some sort of like fucking 11% return for investors on their shit. You know how you get yourself into that position in the first place? By selling too much shit to investors so that you have to fucking sell, you have to give them their fucking return. People just want to play good games. But I just tire of that shit so much. Because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's fucked because they deem it so. They go out and they say, well, you know, we just can't because if we don't, you know, whatever. And so their whole ethos is centered around the fact that it's just, they've decided it's impossible. When there are many examples of it clearly not being impossible. And then what the market gets as a result is a drop-off in general quality from major releases. But I just wish people just had some more fucking standards, because it's clear, while we are simultaneously living in a time where there are some spectacular games being made, the average quality of games at launch right now has arguably never been worse, and the state of monetization in those games has never been worse. And kind of like how hot it is outside right now. It's the coldest fall for the rest of your life.